Good day. I am Lenarica Rica Loveta, a BSCA second year of Holy Cross of Davao College. This video presentation is project for CM104, which is the customs clearance. So in this video presentation, I will be answering the 3 questions that answers the examination of imported goods in the Bureau of Customs. So first question, what are the types of the examination of imported goods? So the answer of this is found in the Customs Administrative Order number 9 of 2020 that states the different or various types of the examination of imported goods. So there are 3. So first, the documentary check or the verification for completeness and authenticity of the documents. It includes the submission after the required import permits, any clearances or licenses. So in this case, the goods were checked by the BOC, which is the technological advancement that is used by the BOC, as this will derive from its commodity selectivity in terms of checking the contents and also the documentary requirements in it. Then once the needed documents were proven to be authentic, valid, and factual, so the particular commodities were under the green lane. So there are no x-rays or physical examinations has been done. So in some cases, only several goods of the coming from the BOC is underclassified in green lane. So several of them were classified in that kind of selectivity, and as the VASP and the system choose to classify them mostly in the yellow lanes, in orange lanes, and mostly in the red lanes. So the second type of the examination of goods is the non-intrusive inspection, or the inspection by the use of X-ray scanners or any other non-intrusive equipment. So in discussing about this type of examination, so the non-intrusive inspection is one of the types of the customs examination, as this classifies the BOC selectivity lanes of the commodities in terms of the yellow lane, in the green lane, or the orange lane. So with these lanes, there will be the examination and assessment, the checking of documentary requirements, and also the X-ray machine inspection of the commodities inside the customs premises. So in this selectivity lanes, the orange now is the new selectivity of the Bureau of Customs in the examination of goods. So in non-intrusive inspection, so the green lane, the yellow lane, and the orange lane are selected and allowed. So in terms of the orange lane, this having the X-ray inspection that is conducted if the examiners or the personnel of the customs may have suspected some malicious content inside the commodity. So in this case, no physical examination has been done in it. So mostly of the selectivity does not have to do some physical examination or the opening of the commodities, as to ensure that there is no suspicious content in them. So in the third and the last type of examination of goods is the physical examination, as to ascertain the actual nature, the origin, the condition, quantity, the value, and tariff classification of the goods that in accordance with the particulars declared in the goods declaration. So in this stage and this type of examination of goods. This falls under the intrusive examination, which lies under the selectivity of the red lane. So the red lane selectivity is being activated so as the goods were subjected in physical examination. So this has been done because of any foreseen suspicious content that is not reflected in the goods declaration. So there are there is no comparable distinction of the goods declaration to the declared goods, and also there must be any malicious content that is being seen in terms of the assessing in the BOC and also in X-ray machines. So in this case, the Bureau manually checks and opens the commodity for the physical examination. So even if there will be the presence or the absence of the owner of the goods, so the Bureau have also the authority or the right to do some physical examination due to justifiable grounds. So the second question is about what are the conditions for the examination of imported goods. As to answer this question, this information is found on the CMTA 10863 that entails in section 420, which is the conditions for examination. Pursuant to internationally accepted standards, so the Bureau may adopt a non-intrusive examination of goods such as the use of X-ray machines. So in terms of the intrusive physical examination of the goods shall be conducted when, first, it is directed by the Commissioner on account of derogatory information. So in this case, there are some foreseen misdeclaration, misclassification, undervaluation, over quantity, or any other seen contrabands that is found in the commodity. Then second condition is the goods are subject to an alert order that is issued by the competent authority. So this is issued by the authorized BOC officer as to examine and assess the basis of the derogatory information. So the identified shipments of this on the non-compliance of the customs rules. So there are the breaking of rules. So that it must be issued after the lodgment of goods declaration and prior to the release of the customs custody. So the third physical examination grounds as condition for examination. So the goods are electronically selected for physical examination. So in this type of condition, the BOC system and also the examiner may have to consider these commodities to turn this selectivity into red lane, as these goods were electronically blotched to the selectivity of the red lane. So the next condition is there are issues and controversies that surrounds the goods declaration and the import clearance processes. So in this case, this grounds for any issues or incomparable information of the contents in accordance to the goods declaration and also to the commodity. And if there are some fakes and also the fabricated any regulatory permits or documentary requirements that is not being allowed, and also there are some races with suspicious of irregularity of the document as compared to the commodities that require further physical examination. So lastly, the importer or the declarant request for the examination of goods. So in this condition, the importer or the declarant is the one who will volunteer and who wants to request to the BOC for the possible examination of the goods. So, the commissioner may be exempt from the physical examination of goods of the authorized economic operators of those provided for under the existing trade facilitation program of the Bureau. So, in this section also states that the physical examination, when required, shall be conducted in an expeditious manner, which is in fastest and in quickest manner. So the last question was about what are the purpose of the examination of imported goods. So first is to ascertain the contents inside. So whether it is in containerized, bulk or break bulk, refrigerated, in crates, or in special containers, whether it is in liquid or solid form. So these goods must have to be ascertained, even though it is in the different forms of containers, as this must have to reflect the goods declaration as same as the declared goods. The next, the validation and the verification of goods. So this examination validates and verifies the actual nature, the origin, the condition, the quantity, the value, and also the tariff classification of the goods as in accordance with the particulars of the declared and reflected in the goods declaration. So the third one is the assurance of the red line goods with regards to the suspicious contents of the commodities. So this is to give assurance that the commodities that falls in the red lane selectivity really have something that is suspicious inside the commodity. So it needs to have a physical examination of the customs examiner, as also to forbids and also to control the importation of illegal or any contraband goods in our territory. So next is to protect the border. This is to give the protection of our territory or our border, as to assure that there is no illegal, there is no contraband or any misdeclared or misclassified or undervalued goods. Then next, evaluating the goods as to avoid the prohibited and restricted goods. So in this case, it evaluates the commodities that enters in our customs premises, that there is no any presence of the prohibited goods, as the prohibited goods are not allowed to be imported in the territory except for the national government regulations, and also in the restriction or the restricted goods. So next is the control of the importation of the illegal, contraband, or the misdeclared goods. Then next also is to avoid any customs derogatory information and other issues. So in case of any other alert orders that has been issued by the BOC in terms of any regulatory derogatory informations, such as the misdeclaration, misclassification, undervaluation, the over quantity or over the quota importation, or any other task that is contrary to the law, or any other issues that aside from the suspicious commodities, it must have been to be settled, as also to control this kind of contrary to the law, as also to make a fine and smooth transition and efficiency of accommodating the examination of the imported goods. So in any cases of alert orders, so this may also be charged and create fines and surcharges, as this would also benefit for our government, especially on attaining revenues. So the Bureau has also the authority to hold these suspicious goods, that is mostly the in the red lane goods. So thus this payments of the penalties on charges must have to be made before the release of the particular goods that is owned by the importer or the declarant. So in this case, the Bureau of Customs is not just protecting our territory, our border, but also they are doing their best, as they also implies the different kinds of laws that is being stated in our CMTA, or the Customs Modernization and Tariff Act of 10863, that entails the different laws, and also the BOC also targets the collecting of taxes, which is that helps the government as to attain the addition of incomes or revenues that is being used by the government as to sustain our Philippine economy from the present and to the future purposes. So that would end my presentation, and this is Rica Lovetta, and that would be all. Thank you.